Alrighty. Good morning, good day, good whatever. So if you guys are watching this at a later date or time, just wanted y'all to know that I am streaming every Tuesday and Thursday starting around 6 a.m. to 6:15, maybe 6:30, depending on how the baby is eating and everything, because I feed the baby around 5 a.m. then I hop on here. So if she's not quite done eating yet at 6, then obviously it's going to take me a little bit longer. But just so you all know, if you guys are watching this at a later date, I am live streaming just about every Tuesday and Thursday, unless something goes wrong like last Thursday where my internet was out for the entire community and I have absolutely no control of that. So yesterday or last Tuesday we left off here. So I am in an incognito window, so it's not gonna have a token in here right now. So if I do go ahead and sign in, it's like unknown coder 1234 and next, and then the password is just password and enter. So this is where we're at. What we need to do is get these icons working, and okay, now, and we also need to get this kind of styled up. So we're gonna work on this post area today. I wanted to go do some digging because I do have some code, because if y'all don't know, if I'm gonna open up Twitter as well in another screen. And I'm trying to be trying not to display anything that I don't want to display, because then I have to go through and edit stuff. Whenever you click on this and you start typing, so let's just do a bunch of stuff, it goes down like this. This is not like the normal behavior of a text box. So if let's actually go see if we can take a look at the normal text box. So if we do this, see, it just scrolls. So we need to make it so that it actually gets bigger instead of scrolling, and we also need to get rid of the styling and stuff. However, I have done this before, so then I just need to go through and kind of steal some code that I wrote myself. Me and a couple of teammates wrote it, but we can take that. So the first thing that I do want to do is we're going to yoink some of these icons from Twitter and kind of go from there. Also, I guess last stream we also got this for you and following kind of working. It's probably not going to do much. Also, we should probably refactor. I'm pretty sure this home link is supposed to refresh the home page. It's kind of silly having a link to home at home, so I don't know, I might not even do that. But yeah, so let's go ahead and get the icons, and then after we get the icons, we will deal with some of the other stuff. So to get the icons, I'm just going to go ahead and inspect, and once again, I'm going to do one of these. So if you guys didn't know, these are just SVGs. So more or less, I know this is stealing, quote unquote, but I'm going to go ahead and just I guess borrow these. I'm not going to be making any money off of this anyway, so it should be fine. Actually, let's see, let's try to get this globe icon first. Okay, here's SVG. I don't know what this will be called, but I'm just going to call it like a globe or something. So let's say 23 Michael Jordan 23 creates, whoops, if I could type create, struggling this morning, globe icon SVG. And I'm probably going to like put all these in like a folder or something and post them to Google Drive or something, because obviously I'm not going to have you guys try to copy these if you are trying to follow along, even though this isn't supposed to be a tutorial, but it is what it is. So let's go ahead and get this one. So we'll say new file, we'll say globe svg.tsx, and I might want to check to make sure some of these aren't the same as other ones, because you never know, they could be. Import React from, whoops, import React from React. And I think that for this one we want to take in a color as well, because you can take in props, height and width, and I think maybe can take in a color. Let's take a look. So if we say SVG change color CSS, this is something that we'll want to do. So how can we change the color? Fill green. So you say you can add a image tag and filter, but that's not what I want to do. Let's see. So there's a fill on the path tag, maybe we'll try that. And maybe the fill's already, it might already be blue. So let's go ahead and just take a look at it, and maybe I'll throw it in there just to see. So if we come up here to this globe, let's make sure none of these are the same. No, they're not. Okay. So we'll grab this path. I'm gonna copy this, copy element. Again, it's kind of cheating, but it is what it is. We're gonna say export const. And how did we do this? We just, or actually we did default, so we can do that, I guess. Export default function, and then this is going to be called globe SVG, and I did that because it's an icon, and then we just threw props colon. We probably want height, which is in number. We'll want width, which is a number, and I think we're going to want color, which is a string, and we'll deal with that later. And then we'll return, and we need to return this SVG that we grabbed. And this one, the style needs to go away. Although we might be able to throw what we want in that style. I'm not sure. We'll see. And I'm curious to see if, whoops. Also, this class doesn't mean much to me. And maybe this class is where it's getting that color. We'll see. And we'll clean this up a little bit. We'll clean this up a little bit. Unfortunately, this might be one of those not very exciting streams where we're doing a lot of stuff like this, trying to get this done. But now I'm curious just to see what this looks like. Also, we do need to make like the height and width. So this we just put on the SVG itself. We'll copy this and throw it in here. And I don't think we want it hidden. I think we want this to be here. I think we can hide it another way. We'll make like two different property type things, I guess. And let's just take a look at what this looks like. Finish. Let's see. Oh yeah, I wanted to see how big this is. How big are you? 13 by 13, huh? Okay, so we'll go ahead and go into here. Let's just throw it into the icons. This isn't really where it goes, but we'll just say globe SVG. Height will be equal to 13, and width will be equal to 13. Well, we could probably bump it to 14 because it's just below 13. We also need a color, which we're not doing anything with currently. But we can say the Twitter blue colors. So let me go into app real quick. And I'm just going to copy this Twitter blue. Probably not going to do anything at this moment, but you know, it is what it is. So let's see. So it's black. So we do need to figure out how to change the color of it, but it is the right size. So it says on the fill equal to this. So maybe we can try that. Or you can add style tags, it says. Height, width, enable background. Let's see if this path fill works. And if this doesn't work, we might have to do a little bit other research. I don't really know too much about SVGs. So we'll say path fill, and we're gonna say we're gonna fill it with color. I guess it would actually be props.color. If we want to, we could have broken that out. But now we can maybe pass in a color. Hey, would you look at that? It is blue, except that is not the globe icon. Somehow I copied the wrong icon. How, I don't know. But it looks like that's gonna work. Let's grab this one. Although this looks like the right one. That's not the globe. Interesting. I wonder what is going on here. Path, yada yada yada. This one does not have style on it though. So let's see if this is the right one. Okay, that is the correct one. Now I just gotta fix it up a little bit. So now in the SVG itself, we do height equal to props.height and width equal to props.width. Clean this up. And then inside the path, we'll add that other piece of code that we were just working on. And it should be resizable. And it should be able to do whatever color we want. So fill equal to props.color. And now we can give it whatever color we want. So it can be Twitter blue, it can be black, it could be whatever. Cool. So there's our globe one. I guess we don't need to import React for this. We'll just make these very simple default functions. So there's the globe.tsx 24. We need, let's take a look at Twitter. I'm going to be grabbing the wrong ones all the time. Next, we need the media one. So we'll say create media icon SVG. We'll just say media svg.tsx. All right, let's join this one. So we'll go ahead and make a new SVG, new file, and we'll say media svg. And some of these might be same or whatever. So we'll see. I don't think they're the same, but I think some might be. We'll see. Export default function media svg, and again our props will be an object. And if I wanted to, I could make these interfaces, and actually, you know what, I might make them interfaces. I might throw color all of these into an interface at the top of SVGs and call it a day, but it's fine for now. So we're gonna say props, and this will be height is an int or a number, width is a number, and color is a string. If we did that, we are gonna have to refactor basically everything. Oh, whoops, I copied. Thank you, I appreciate that. You know, I'm just trying to more or less have a good time and practice some coding, so if it helps other people, then great. And paste that in, and then we'll get rid of the style in the class because we don't need it. And do this, and clean this up. There you go. Clean up this, clean up this. I mean, I'm not really doing too much right now. I'm literally just borrowing some code from Twitter, but it is what it is. So we'll say the height is now equal to props.height, and the width of this one will be equal to props.width. And then we'll do a fill inside the path. I appreciate that. I know that whenever I was like working on this project, I was really struggling with Spring Security. So I was like, you know what? There are some good Spring Security tutorials out there, but I don't know, I felt like they're still missing some things here and there. So while there is good Spring Security tutorials out there, there are still some missing blanks you had to fill in. I'm hoping eventually I will be able to expand upon that video a little bit, do like maybe a full stack or something with it. But I do have to be a little bit careful with what I do with like Java tutorials and whatnot, just because of my job. Technically, there could be a conflict of interest if I'm doing YouTube tutorials whenever I, do that sort of thing as my day job. So it's like, I don't want my employer to think, oh, I'm stealing content or anything like that. So we don't teach Spring Security in my job. So this is GIF icon. So that's why I was like, okay, it's probably safe to do a Spring Security because we don't actually teach Spring Security where I work. So obviously, if we don't teach it, I can't be stealing any of the content from us. So we'll say GIF SVG. But yeah, I hope eventually I will be able to do more Java-based tutorials. I am going to be hopefully doing another tutorial soon. I'm trying to start designing it. It's going to be a tutorial on MERN-stack. Again, we technically train React, but we don't teach Mongo, Express, and we teach a little bit of Node. We don't teach the MERN-stack, so that should also be free game. So that's what I'm going to do next, is a MERN-stack tutorial. I have an idea already and all of that stuff, so I'm excited about that. I'm going to try to hold off until let's see, we're going to say export default, and then we're going to say function. I'll finish my thought in a second. SVG props will be height, number, width, number, and color string. But I'm trying to hold out until I get my channel partnership type stuff, because it's going to be another like more or less big hitting video, and I'd like to monetize it just because money's pretty tight right now. So it would be nice to be able to monetize that work. So that's kind of my plan. I'm going to I appreciate that. But yeah, so definitely be on the lookout. I'm going to be posting more tutorials on stuff that more or less I'm allowed to, I guess, or it isn't a conflict of interest. So just know that there's more stuff in the works, not just this, but I am going to be switching more towards coding like this. It would be cool if we could turn series like this Let's Build Twitter into a live stream series where I can just live stream it like this all the time and just kind of use this sort of thing. But a lot of people can't tune to live streams and they're not going to watch super long videos like this. So Phil, so because of that, I still want to kind of go back through and edit these down to smaller videos, but I appreciate all the kind words. And I don't know if it's just that I have a natural ability, or that, you know, I've been doing this professionally for a couple years now, and I've just kind of picked up, and I've got the ability now. Because trust me, whenever I started this sort of thing, it was pretty rough on trying to do all of this. But you know, I'm growing, and the great thing about working on this is I'm learning a bunch of stuff and all of that. So let's see, we got the GIF. Now we need, what is this guy? A poll. Now we need the poll icon. So we'll do that. So 26 dot create poll icon SVG. So this would be poll SVG. ReactJS. So I'm thinking on Friday night at some point I'm going to go through and record all of these steps that I've gone through for the last week and a half, and turn those into hopefully 2 30-ish minute videos. We'll see how long they end up being. It might end up being 3 30-ish minute videos or 4, I'm not sure. But I don't want them to be too long. People complain that, oh, your videos aren't long enough, yada yada yada. But the thing is, it's been pretty proven that people have a pretty short attention span. So I'm trying to keep the videos a little bit shorter, have more videos come out. That way people can watch the videos that are shorter, they watch for longer, and that helps out with like watch time and whatnot. So height is a number, width is a number, and color is a string. So if you guys have ever wondered why I try to make my videos a little bit shorter, it's because people's attention spans, it's been pretty much proven that shorter videos around 10 to 15 minutes are better than super long videos. Coding might end up being a little bit different later on, just because of the fact that, you know, it's programming. People might have a little bit more patience, but in general, people aren't sticking around for 30 minute videos, hour videos, unless it's like a really big tutorial, kind of how people like what's his name, I can't think of his name, but there's some people that do some pretty long form tutorials that get watched. So that's the longer videos. I'm going to try to stick to tutorials, and then shorter videos for stuff like this. Now some other projects coming up that I want to do. Definitely want to try to finish this project. I'm not sure how far we're going to get on this, but we'll see. It's also going to be interesting to see. There's a bunch of stuff that I didn't even think about, like how are we going to actually get the GIFs to pop up. I don't know how Twitter does that. Messages are going to be interesting. So we've got a lot to still figure out here. So we want fill will be equal to our color. Props.color. Cool, there's that one. And we just got a couple more, I think. Alright, let's see. And we have our emoji. I'm not sure how we're going to do an emoji keyboard. This one will be very interesting to figure out how to do. So let's see, 27 dot create emoji icon SVG. To be emoji svg.ts. Whoops. And I like that these streams kind of give everyone a behind the scenes look at what actually goes on with making these videos, so that's pretty cool too. Emoji svg.tsx. Hopefully we get some time to actually work on the CSS that I wanted to work on. Export default function emoji svg props height width. Now that I think about it, I really should have set up an interface for this. Number, and we're gonna say number, height, width, and color string. And then we'll go ahead and return. And here's what we'll do. Grab the smiley face and copy that element. Also don't know what we're going to do about location, but there's some things to figure out here for sure. And those are going to be streams where we're just kind of experimenting and trying to figure things out more or less. We might not get that much stuff done. Alright, there's that. Now we need to set up this. So the height, the props.height, and the width be props.width. And our path will have a fill equal to, and this needs to be color, props.color. Cool, there's another one. Another SVG down. I think there's only like 2 more left, 28. Create. So the next SVG is going to be calendar or a schedule, I'm guessing. What does this say? I'm guessing this is just scheduler tweet. Yep, so this will be our schedule SVG. Let's say we need to create schedule icon SVG. So we'll say schedule SVG.tsx. Yes, and I'm probably gonna go back through here in a second and refactor all of these SVG things, and before I even actually waste people's time on doing all of this work, I'm gonna make a interface. So let's see here. Let's go ahead and make our new file. Schedule svg.tsx and export default function schedule svg, and we have our prompts. And our prompts will be height, number, width, number, and color. String, and paste it in. And this is gonna mean that we'll have to do some refactoring some other places, unfortunately, as well, but it should be okay. I should be able to figure it out. Get our path all cleaned up and our SVG cleaned up. Throw in our height. Oops. Height is going to be props.height. Our width equal to props.width, and our color will be our fill. So fill equal to props.color. The only thing we'd have to change inside of each one of these is just, instead of saying props blah blah blah, it'll say props SVG SVG interface or SVG props or whatever. And there should be one more SVG we have to create for now, and that's going to be this location icon. So let's go ahead and do that. So 28, create location icon SVG, the location SVG.tsx. Yes. And new file, and this will just say location svg.tsx. And sure, we could have figured out how to write all these SVGs and whatnot, but what's the point if they're already on the internet? We're not going to go and redesign all of these in Photoshop or something. So export default function location svg props will be height, number, width, number, and color string. And honestly, we can literally do this super easily without having to actually do anything. So now what we'll do is we need to grab this guy, this SVG. I have an idea of how to fix all this. So we'll return So get rid of the style and the class. Height is equal to props.height. And we'll say that width is equal, whoops, props.width. We might have to refactor a little bit, I guess. Path. Oops. Path went too far. I broke it. There we go. That should be, other than the fill. Fill is equal to color. Props.color. Okay, so there's that. Now before we do too much, I'm going to do a little bit of a refactor here. So I'm going to go up to the top where we started making our SVGs, which will be up in the navigation somewhere. So set up the section and feed page, create the CSS, create the home icon. So now instead of create home icon, we're going to rename everything, but number 4 will be to create the svg utils.ts file and put the interface in it. Or actually, you know what? I'm going to say create svg props in the public. There should be a public interfaces, right? And utils, and global interfaces. And sure, I probably could have put this elsewhere, but it is what it is. So now inside of our global utils, what we're going to do is say this. Down here, we'll go ahead and export interface, and this will be svg props, and this is going to have a height number, width number, and then we'll say what we'll say is color question mark is a string. So color will be optional, and this is going to break a lot of stuff, but it's also going to make our lives a little bit easier. So let's copy this, throw it in here. So we'll just say global interfaces .tsx. Yes, okay. So now I'm gonna close out of a bunch of stuff here just so I can go through, fix all of these one by one basically. And I guess I'll open up the things that I need again in a little bit because there's a lot of stuff open right now. So first one is home svg. So now instead of props, this is say props is equal to a svg props, like so. And then here, I'm not worried about the color because although it's complaining, let's see, width is, oh, for some reason I decided to do these. Oh man, so it's gonna be a little bit more refactoring. It's fine, I'll fix it, because the width doesn't need to be text, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that it was working just without the px on it. So we'll fix that. And we're not gonna quite have time to get what I wanted done today, I don't think. So we might have to stream. I might have to work on it by myself on Friday or something just to get a little bit more done. But anyway. Okay, and we can fix these other issues later, I suppose. This one's good to go. So now here, fix this. Explore. This is why it takes so long to get this stuff done. And I might do some more streaming on Friday and maybe record on Saturday. So 6 is the export. So let's grab export. Or Explorer, I guess, probably. And now once again, props will be a SVG. Props. Gonna break more stuff. But for the time being, it's fine. I'll fix it later. 7 is notifications. Grab notifications, SVG. Now this will be notifications props. Or not notifications props, SVG props. Wish I would have thought about this earlier. Paste that in. Gonna cause lots of issues, but whatever. Message 1. Alright, thanks. I appreciate you. Appreciate you spending the time with me this morning. And next is messages. No, we didn't get too much done, but sometimes that's life. Messages, we'll say SVG props. That one's pretty well safe, other than where it's broken. 9 is lists. Alright, now we got our SVG props. So now this will be a lot faster to program inside whenever we're actually doing the series, so this helps out quite a bit. And one's communities. Here. SVG props. Save that. Copy and paste. And 11. Create the verified icon. Verified. Hopefully we can get enough done. I want to get probably the create post done. Not like creating an entire post, but at least have it set up to the point where we can at least type in and it works properly. Profiles next. So now this will be SVG props. Save that one. Go into profile. 12 is more. Might be the last one, I'm not sure. SVG props. Copy this one, throw it into more. Oh, there's still navigation. Oh wait, never mind, this is fine. So now in navigation TS, we need to fix all of the links. So let's go back to navigation.tsx. And we're going to go through here. Now we just need to fix all of these. So now instead of this, we'll say 26 and 26. And this should be an easy enough fix. So now here, here, there, there, there. And then if we wanted to change the color, we literally just input the color and it's perfectly fine and everything works out fine and dandy. So that's pretty cool. Okay, that's that fixed. Now the only problem is, oh, I missed one somewhere. navigation.tsx. What's your problem? Or is it just, okay, it's just super far behind. Now the thing is, hopefully, okay, yes, cool. I wrote the entire thing. I was gonna say, hopefully I wrote the entire thing and I'm not getting ahead of myself. So I'm thinking I'm only gonna grab this part because there's a lot of imports and stuff. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. This should be good to go for the navigation TSX. Fix that problem. This should now be 14, right? Or wait, 11. This one should be 12. 13. 14. 15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. Got 21. Oops. 1. 22. 3. 4. So now we're gonna have to do some special stuff with like globe and stuff. So I'm gonna go back into globe. So now the problem is that colors, whenever we do this, so whenever we say props and we say SVG props, is that color could be undefined, and I'm surprised it's not complaining. Maybe it's because it doesn't matter if colors is undefined, but I'm just gonna try to be safe here. So I'm gonna say props.color question mark. And then if that's the case, we're gonna set to props.color. Otherwise, we're just gonna set it to black. So I'm gonna say 0, 0, 0. So either we'll set to props.color or we'll set it to black, and that shouldn't be an issue. I think if we go back into here, yeah, you can see that's still blue. So, but I just wanted to be safe to make sure that we don't break anything, basically. So paste that, and then 25 is to create media for the media one. So let's go ahead and go into media SVG. Okay, so now we want to change this to props. Instead of this, we'll say SVG props. Again, we'll do the same thing. We'll say props.color question mark props.color. Otherwise, if there's nothing there, we'll do black. So 0, 0, 0. Another pretty easy fix. Media should be 25. Cool. Wanted to make sure I got that right. Then 26 is the GIF. So let's grab GIF. Same thing as before. Refactor this to say SVG props. And then now our fill will be color. If there is a color, because it could be undefined, we'll go ahead and say color, or if it's there, we'll say props.color. Otherwise, we'll fill it with black. So that means if we want it white or something, we'd have to put it white, but I don't think that's a problem. 27 is the poll icon. Let's grab poll. And here, do the same thing. It's unfortunate that I'm refactoring this, but it is what it is. Those will be SVG props. Okay, and now same thing for black. The actual development isn't as exciting as the actual videos that I create, so it is what it is. Alright, so now 28 is emoji. I have no idea how we're going to do the emoji keyboard. I'll have to look up how to do an on-screen keyboard in React or something and yoink something, because this I have no idea how we're going to do. I have no idea how we're going to do the GIF one either. Alright, so props here will be SVG props, except I got from the wrong one. And now color, question mark. Or black. I'm sure if it was undefined, it'd probably be black anyway, but I wanted to be safe and, you know, make sure that it's not broken. 29, schedule. Grab schedule. Be SVG. Props. And this would have saved me a lot of time if I had just done this to begin with, but you live and you learn. So sometimes planning ahead helps out a bit. Sometimes, you know, you just gotta roll with it more or less. And then finally, location is the last one, so let's fix location. Location SVG. And now we'll say props is SVG props. And now if there's anything else that we want to add, we could always just make it optional and then add it into any of these if we want. Otherwise, we don't have to. So that's also cool. Alright, so now that is good to go. Now we can actually start working on what I want to start working on, which is the actual like creation page or the post creator. Let's close out of this stuff. So we're gonna have a couple different things on this. I'm gonna close out of this and now feed post creator. So here is where all of our icons are, and these are gonna have to be end up being a, what's it called, flexbox. So we need, let's look at what icons we need again. So it goes media first. So let's throw the media in there, and it looks like we're gonna have to surround these inside of divs. So I'm gonna show a div for the class name equal to feed post creator icon BG, and then what we'll do is throw the media icon in here. We'll say media SVG, and this will have a height equal to 14, I think is what we were doing, a width equal to 14, and then a color equal to Twitter blue. I'm gonna grab that again. At this point I should probably just have it memorized, but oh well. Then our Twitter blue, which should be a string. Right, and now if we come in here, we can see it. It looks really small. So maybe it was bigger than that. This looks really small. The overall is 20 by 20. So maybe we should make it 20 by, maybe I should change this to 20 instead of 14. 20 and 20. That looks better. And then of course we're gonna have like a radius background and stuff on here. We haven't gotten to that point yet in the CSS, so I'll do with that. So now we need our next one. So the next one is the, whoops, GIF. So let's grab GIF. So instead of media SVG, it'll be GIF SVG. Then next we have the poll. So this is poll SVG. So we're gonna have to figure out how to do the color slightly differently for the last one. And I'm not sure how we're gonna enable that. So that'll be interesting. Next one is emoji. So emoji SVG. Then after emoji, we got the schedule. So schedule. So we got from the wrong one. Schedule SVG from components. Ooh, I missed it. Let me check schedule SVG. SVGs. Yeah. Schedule. Yep, I forgot to return. Terrific. Oops. Classic. There we go. Then we update the walkthrough. All right, schedule. And then finally is location. Location, I'm not sure what we're gonna do with this one. Because we're going to have to figure out, I guess, some way to either enable or disable this. But it should be so let's say X to RGB converter. So this in here, whoops. Grab this color. Convert it. So 29,161. I'm gonna make this a little faint. So we're gonna do this one slightly different. We're gonna say RGBA. We're gonna throw, I don't know, 0.5 maybe. Looks good. So now we got our icons. Now the thing is whenever you click on it, it changes. So we're gonna have to do something with that. But I think what we want to do is start getting our basic CSS, and then we can figure out how we're going to deal with doing the click on part. So if we refresh, hopefully nothing bad pops up. This is For You pages. Trash. So this goes to our profile, I'm guessing. So yep, so we need to make this a link, and we can do that. So if we come in here on image, or I guess we could add an on click to the div or on the image or something. But what part is it if you click on, let's do some research here. If we just click on any of it, yeah, if you click on, whoops, any part of this, it's gonna pop down. It's gonna be like anyone can reply, yada yada yada. So we kind of have like two. We have like inactive and then active. So we almost need like a second piece underneath and above. This is interesting. Okay. Interesting. So we almost need a button. Let's see. We almost need a button that we can hide. Not sure where this would go at. And appreciate you, Darius. So this is like its own thing here, and then we got interesting. Then we got like a whole space over here. So they like have this as a big flex box. Okay. So they have this like as a flex box where there's stuff on the left side, and so I guess we could set that up. We got to refactor a little bit. Let's go back into here. So we have this whole page right here. And I had it as like top and bottom, but more like it's more like left and right is what it actually is. So we're gonna have to refactor this a little bit. But how do I want to do this? Because I want to refactor this, but I don't want to redo the other part. So I guess let's do this. So instead of top, we'll say left. Like that. We'll make this creator a flex box. This is left, and then this will be right. And then the text area goes in the right side on top. Like so. And then, let's see. Whenever you click on it, there's a hidden div that says everyone, and there's like a button or div or whatever. This probably drops down stuff. We'll have to figure out how to do the drop down menu. Just kind of pops up below it. Okay. Interesting. We'll have to figure out how to do that. So I'll have to go through all that too. So we need a button or a div that's called, I don't know, choose audience, I guess. So this actually goes on top of here. Div class name equal to b-post-creator-right/audience. And this div will have a drop down, and by default it says everyone, so I'll just throw everyone. Or I could p. Actually, I guess I can just say everyone, doesn't matter. Right, so there's that part. And that part goes on top. And then we need the... We'll have to figure out how we're going to do this line. I'm guessing it's it's just a border. Okay, that's simple. Then we need this everyone can view, and this one also pops up the same sort of like, I guess it's more of a modal, and it's going to be like kind of based off of the general area of where you clicked. So this one's going to go under the text box, but above the icons. So we have our text area, so then we'd have another like div, the class name equal to I guess this is reply, b-post-creator-reply. And then this one again is going to say everyone can reply. So we'll have a we'll need the globe SVG, and the height I think on this one is 14, and the width is equal to 14, and the color is still Twitter blue. So we'll copy the color. And currently it just says everyone can reply. And this is going to have to also be kind of set up dynamically, obviously. So we need to figure out the drop downs for these and toggling these on and off. So I'm going to add notes here. I'm going to say inside of our walkthrough, Next, we need to figure out toggling, viewing, and not viewing the extra icons or divs. And next, figure out the floating. I'm going to say floating modal under the hidden divs. And I'm pretty sure these are going to be somewhat simple. It'll just be like, oh, you don't want to show yada yada yada. I'm going to copy this and do this. And inside the walkthrough where I created this, I'm going to get rid of all the icons and I'll just put icons again. So I'm going to do this and paste. And instead of having all these icons here, like so, we'll just say icons like it did before. And that should be fine. Alright, so there's that. Cool. So obviously it doesn't look like what it's supposed to because we don't have CSS set up. So let's get basic styles working. So I'm going to say 30 get basic styles for the post creator working. This would be feed post creator.css. This will probably be the last thing that we get to do today. So let's see, feed post creator CSS. So first thing we need is this. So we're gonna go with 100%. And how tall does this get? Let's see. How tall are you? The entire thing is about 180, 190, 100. From top to bottom, I'm gonna say 190. So I'm just gonna make the height 190. I don't think that it's going to be changing much. Then we need display will be flex. And this should, yep. So now we kind of get that idea here. So we have the icon and everything else. And then I guess we want to justify content flex start, I think. I could be wrong about this one. It's going to be hard to tell currently with everything being so large. We'll play around with that part later. Okay, so now we need to do so left. I don't even know if we need left anymore. To be honest, we could probably get rid of it because all the left does is just holds this image. If anything, what we could do is change this image, change this div to a link. Although you can't really, that might not work. Let's see, what happens if we do change this to a link? Let's say link from React Router DOM, link, and then it's like what, 2 equal to, and we don't really have anywhere to go right now, so it's not going to go anywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and change this up here to link as well. So instead of creator left, this is just going to be a link from nowhere because we don't have a page for this to go to. And we'll need to fix that. I guess if we want to, we could create like a profile page really quick. But I'm not worried about that at this moment. Okay, so now we want to deal with the feed post creator profile picture. This is the big one. Or literally and figuratively. So Twitter's is going to be how large? 40 by 40. Okay, so now we'll say width is 40 px, height is 40 px. Then I need to look at how we make it fit in there because I always forget how to do this. So I'm gonna go to navigation real quick. Navigation CSS, because there should be a profile picture on this one. Border radius and object cover. What I want. Oops, I didn't want to delete it though. Copy that. Save and paste that. So now that should start looking a little bit better. As you can see, we need a little bit of space in between that, although we might be able to just add some CSS, because if you look at actual Twitter, it's not really that much space. We do need some padding on here, it looks like, so we can add some padding to this. So I'm gonna say like padding, let's do what 10 pixels of padding looks like on this. That looks a little bit better, I think. The only thing is, it looks like the padding isn't even, although, yeah, I think the padding maybe needs to go down to like 8. Maybe the padding goes down to 8-ish. And that's gonna make, and I think there might be, well, maybe 5. Or we get rid of padding and we just do some margin. I can't tell. Because like here, let's look at this CSS. It does have a padding on it, about 4. So yeah, let's add padding back. Padding of 4px. The only thing is that the profile picture is going to have more padding than the other ones, so we're gonna need to add some what's it called? We're going to have to add some padding or margin. It's probably gonna need some margin around the everyone as well. So let's see. Let's say margin top of. So it's already got 4 on the top. Let's say another 16. So 20 total. It looks pretty good. I need some margin on the left as well. So maybe I'll say padding left is equal to 20 because it looks like about even. So we'll say padding left. How do we want to do this? We can say margin left, I guess. $16px. That might be too much, but we'll see. Let's compare. That's a little bit much. We might even reduce this a little bit to like 11 and 15. It's not going to be perfect. I think that's looking pretty good. Now we need some spacing in between here and here, obviously. So we could probably do that with right. So feed post creator right. We'll say width is, well, I'm not going to worry about width right now because let's see. Yeah, I'm not going to worry about width. However, I will say margin left is going to be, let's see what 5 pixels looks like. Probably need more than that, right? Yeah, let's say 10 pixels. Hard to tell because obviously it's not perfect. I'm gonna try 15. Let's do that. So now this one is more or less, I don't think this one needs a flex box necessarily. We can go ahead and do the feed post creator. I don't know what right audience meant. Oh, right, and then audience. Okay. I don't know if we need that. I'm just gonna say audience. The feed post audience. This is probably the last bit we get to work on here. I'll have to work on it Friday night. So I'm guessing this is a set width and height. Although it might just be the size of some padding and stuff. So this has a font size of 14. And font weight is a little bit heavier, so maybe like 600 or 700. And let's see, let's add some padding of like 2 pixels or something. I don't want to be crazy. And then we're gonna say border has a border on it, right? Let's say first we're gonna say color is Twitter blue. Let's grab Twitter blue. Color is Twitter blue. We should see some change here. Oh, we didn't see any change. Creator audience. Oh, it's because I didn't save it. I think that looks about good. Need the down icon. There's a material UI for that. Material UI icons. We're not gonna have time to do all of this, unfortunately. Some side ones. Down one, but that's not quite what I want. The material UI might have had some of the ones we were looking for. We want like chevron down is what we want. It might be called open or something like that. Band more is what we want. And I don't remember how to edit these, so this will be fun. Want expand more in here. Okay, that means we're gonna have to do extra work in here. So Friday night, we're probably gonna have to come back through here and do some work on this. Although that took the color, so that's nice. We'll have to do some work on this tomorrow. Tomorrow night. I don't quite have time this morning. So thanks for everyone who stopped in. Thanks to everyone who watches this a little bit later. This has been Ethan Uncoder. Peace out, and I'll see you guys in the next stream or video.